I'll start things off, everybody. Thanks very much for taking part in the panel. I really appreciate it. So I think I'll just start off by saying, unbelievably, I can't believe we're in the mid 2024 now, middle of the year. Where's the year gone? Perhaps we could start off by, from your own individual perspectives, your own businesses, perhaps just talk about maybe some of the trends you're seeing this year so far in your respective businesses. What's kind of striking and taking hold this year so far? Perhaps Simon, I could start with yourself.
Okay, well, I'll give you a bit of background. I work for Uniphar. I'm there about 3 years, and we're in the middle of upgrading from an old legacy, an impressive legacy Magento 1 platform onto Magento 2. In terms of trends, B2C functionality into a B2B platform. So we sell meds to hospitals and pharmacies, but we also sell non-meds, so a lot of consumer-based products.
Yep.
So bringing that functionality in terms of imagery, in terms of high-quality landing pages, category pages, all that type of stuff, but maintaining the B2B streamlined functionality, quick order, fast order, reorder,
Yep.
and then the B2C, selling our products, pushing them out there, and all the descriptions, where our med products wouldn't have as much, but we're trying to do all that.
And that's certainly been a trend that we've heard throughout the morning in the presentations. Ciaran, from a warehouse management and logistics perspective, how's the year been so far, and what sort of trends are you folks seeing?
So what we're seeing is WaveOMS is a SaaS WMS product. We have B2C and B2B businesses operate the warehouse more efficiently. So between all our customers this year, they'll probably do about 3.5 million hours to the platform. So we've a good mix of B2C and B2B. And what we're seeing is there's a huge appetite out there for digital transformation to bring efficiencies through the warehouse environment. A massive amount of conferences look at various tools to help you to grow, position better to customer, personalization, etc. But there's, very often that's driven by the CEO, CFO, CMO type. But very frequently it's not necessarily. What happens if we do grow by 20%? What happens if we do add 2,000 more products? If we add a B2B platform, and instead of getting 50 lines in an email, we now start to get 4 emails or 25 lines each. So the throughput has to be faster, etc. So what we're seeing is there seems to be a big demand out there to certainly in the warehouse space to bring a level of transformation into warehouse space, moving away from one order at a time, moving away from paper, 100% accuracy, making sure every order that comes in has to go out that day, etc. to serve the customer better. Very much in the competitive B2B space, but also in the B2C space where Amazon's come down the track, right? Particularly for the local market. So we're seeing a big requirement for digital transformation is what we're seeing.
100%. And Estelle, from a global, international, and I guess payments perspective?
Sure. So my name is Estelle di Lucia with Digital River. I've been with them for 8 years now. I think for us, we're kind of in that global expansion, cross-border selling, shielding brands from risk and fraud, etc., as they go into new markets. But definitely what we're seeing in the market is the AI, and you really can't be at any event now without people talking about AI and machine learning. So at Digital River, we're using AI and machine learning and a lot of data-driven personalization projects to actually look at what our customers are doing in the market and how we can help existing brands leverage information from other customers that we're processing today and aggregate that information to let them almost have a crystal ball to look into the future to see how their product can work in a certain market where their peers are offering the similar product today. So we're doing that across the board. We have a product that we offer to our customers. They have the ability to look into a product, look at the payment methods that are working for a particular product in certain markets, and adopt those to their checkout experience. Also looking at how they can localize that experience and offer a personalized experience. To go back to AI and machine learning, we offer a solution that allows machine learning to offer multiple authorization requests for an online transaction. And what we do is we have a multi-acquirer network in place, and machine learning gives us the ability to have dynamic processing. So if a customer is transacting with a credit card and it's declined, and they're not aware of this happening, but in a nanosecond we have a retry logic, and we'll go out to 3 different acquirers to convert that transaction to an actual sale, and that increases our conversions by 8 to 15%. So there's a real demand for that kind of intelligence to increase your online performance the whole way through the front end, through the cart, through the whole customer experience. So I think those are key elements. And then on top of that, I think social commerce is enormous. I think it's something everybody needs to be considering. B2B 100%, or at least B2C 100%, but B2B is equally as important, I think. We're in a generation, I live with 2 generationals in 19 and 22, and their whole life is online, and everything is expected so quickly, so fast. They don't understand the difference between B2B, B2C. They just think, I'm buying something, I want it. And I think that mentality is going to be taken into business as they grow and they develop, come out of college and go into industry, where they expect the same experience that they have on their mobile to be across the board in every transaction that they have in their businesses. So I definitely think social commerce is huge.
Yeah, 100%. Totally agree with that. Brad, anything to add?
No, I think just what you all are saying, resonating that. But I think the biggest difference is now who is using our system. Who are the consumers, who are the clients. And because of the age profile, because of the COVID, and everyone is working remotely, and the expectation is not that you can order on phone and fax and then you might as well have a website. I think it's the digital first expectation. So every engagement we do, it seems like from your brand, your buyers, your selling point of view, your customer always expect you to be online for literally everything. Right from you are reaching out to a customer first time as a marketing tool, it's expected to be online. They're engaging with you, your email shots, your social media, and then they expect it to be seamless. Right from marketing to your customer acquisition, when you're signing off, it needs to be online. When you're selling things, it needs to be commerce, really sleek, shiny tools. You are upselling, cross-selling, giving great shopping guide things. But even after that, your after services, your self-service areas about, where is my invoices, what is the product descriptions, it needs to be available 24/7. You need to inform your clients about where your products are logistically, when it's going to be delivered. They expect it to be online. Client expect everything digitally 24/7 and promptly. And that goes all the way from the first engagement, marketing, retention, acquisition, and all the way to fulfillment.
Yeah.
And this is the world we are talking about now. It's completely transformed.
It's a full end-to-end circle, and it just covers the absolute every spectrum of business. Just kind of taking these kind of points and kind of moving on, certainly from our industry perspective at Monsoon, and as an agency, a system integrator, if you will, the greatest successes that we have is through partnerships and working with trusted partners and industry experts, as it were, that come in at different various points, and we're covering lots of angles this morning and different kind of areas. Perhaps in your own individual businesses and sectors and experiences, perhaps you could share some thoughts or an experience where partnership has really kind of influenced outcomes. And I'll maybe start, Estelle, with yourself, because I know that's kind of key to your role at Digital River, so maybe kind of
absolutely.
a good place to start.
I live and breathe partnerships, that's my role. I think if I look at where Digital River is today, and in the past we would have offered a monolithic solution, so an end-to-end process all the way through to logistics. But we just couldn't do everything really well. We could do a certain piece of it, and we took a pivot in our business to decide, well, look, let's focus on what we're best at, and then let's partner for the rest of the solution. And we did take a pivot 8 years ago now, and we decided that take our API, our merchant of record solution, which is the core of our offering, and make that the best in market. And then offer this as a pre-built integrator. So we partner with Adobe Commerce. We're at a platinum level at their program. And we have a pre-built integration into the commerce platform, which means that for a brand who wants to use our solution, it's very quick to get up and running with Digital River with this pre-built integration. By being part of that ecosystem with Adobe, you're now exposed to hundreds of partners, hundreds of networks, hundreds of leads and opportunities. Working with Monsoon, for example, you're just expanding what you could do by yourself by suddenly opening up and working across the board within various ecosystems to adapt, to sell your solution, and for your partner then to be in a conversation with their customers or their partners who think, oh, I want to sell cross-border, and then, Bharat say, well, Digital River is one of our partners and we recommend them. So I really don't think that you can move forward without being part of a partner network in business today, because like I said, we all think we're fabulous, but you can't be fabulous at everything. You're really good at one thing, and if you focus on the one thing you're really good with, then you pull in partners to work on the other parts that they're SMEs for. So I think partnership is key. Collaborate all the way.
100%, totally agree. Brett, how would you add to that?
Well, we like Estelle, we live and breathe on our partnership network. Adobe is keeping us honest, informed, keep pushing our boundaries. We are a small agency, so every time there's a new innovation, something about AI, something about data analytics, this is where we learn from. That's the primary source. So that has been a key driver for our growth, our learning, our innovation. Then our partner network from all the suppliers like Digital River, WaveOMS. So it makes us look really smart and intelligent when we bring in a partner saying, hey, if you have a problem around cross borders or fraud detection, this is the company. They really know their solution. We don't have to do too much upselling. Only thing we need to do is bring a well-qualified, credible partner. And it goes both ways. So we get leads, opportunities, but most importantly, we get the gravitas of being partner of some of the best industry players. And then obviously the learning on the back of that. We keep learning from our partners. We keep getting enablements. We keep getting, what is the most efficient way of your warehouse management? How do you optimize your logistics? And it all brings a great value when we talk to our clients and, reflect that to provide them the best solution.
Absolutely. Simon, from a Uniphar and pharmaceutical perspective, you guys are, enormous online and everywhere else. Partnerships, strategic partnerships, how does that play into the success?
It's key. It's key. We're fortunate when we're on Magento 1, and we looked at different platforms, and everything came back to Magento and Monsoon. Monsoon, good knowledge of the business, did a really good job on M1. It integrates with SAP ECC6, and it's very fast. Live orders, just like Ashley. Live orders, live pricing. And now there's another project to go on to ECC6 onto S4HANA, so that's going to be a challenge. And hosting, we currently host M1 on AWS. We're going to move it into Azure, our own DevOps team. And but we're fortunate with Monsoon that we've our account manager. He's worked on Magento. He knows it inside out. We've got Callan. We can interact with the guys. So not just the account manager. We're the dev team, the design team. They're accessible. They've been super helpful. Laura's done our front end of Magento 2 and done a lot of really good work. But it's great that call up Laura and we can get stuff done.
Yeah, absolutely. Ciaran, yourself and
I'm relatively new to the B2B space, and my background is 20 years B2C.
Yeah.
But in the last 3 years, particularly in the world that where I now exist, partnerships are everything.
Yeah.
For sure. It's our job to position ourselves to make sure we've got the best, most efficient product there is for the warehouse environment, and then to position ourselves to ensure that we partner with like guys like Monsoon, etc. to making sure that we as collaborative make a customer experience and project success. That's what we're there for. And we equally, we're defining what we're incredibly good at and ensuring that we continue to polish that. And if we're being brought into a SAP project or a NetSuite project or whatever, that we work with great integrators who lay those tracks, and then thereafter we can bring them into projects, etc. So for us, partnerships are everything. But equally, at the moment, we're exploring partnerships for our customers. So given the volume of throughput through the platform, why can't we negotiate preferred rates from carriers relative to that? Equally, packaging, equipment, etc. Right? Even going as far back as the temp agencies. Why not get them Wave certified, and therefore you can lean off that for your high peak period. So relatively new to partnerships, but incredibly critical in the space.
Yeah, no, 100%, couldn't agree more. Okay, we've talked about a few kind of trends and the importance of partnerships there. Maybe we could just turn our attention to perhaps some specific challenges you're facing in each of your respective industries and businesses. Challenges or anything you're seeing coming over the horizon that you're mindful of, and perhaps you're just trying to navigate. What are you thinking, whether it be technology or economic or whatever it may be? Maybe for the audience, just share what sort of challenges you could be facing in the months ahead. Maybe start again with yourself, Ciaran. There.
I think two things really is it's data. So poor data, poor outcomes. It's as simple as that. So when we migrate a customer from typically one order at a time, could be picking on paper, to an environment where you can drop a transition your student in, pick up a scanner and follow the process, right? Mm. So it all has to be data led. So sure. SKU, image, barcode, inners and outers, units of measure, etc. And we've yet to find a business who's got that nailed. Mm. And if you don't have that can stop a process in its tracks, right? It's as simple as that. So we spend an awful lot of time as part of our onboarding projects working with customers to ensure that data is there. You get customers who are great at it and not so good. Most recent engagement with a customer has got 8,000 products in the hardware space, really small components. Mm-hmm. Currently their B2B experience with the customers is email ordering. They really want to race into a B2B e-commerce platform. Mm-hmm. No images and barcodes. So that's just hands down dead right there. So and then secondly then is I think is IT and the talent of that. A lot of smaller SMEs in Ireland, they typically outsource their IT. Very often their dev agency to some degree is their de facto CTO. Yeah. It's about educating that the business owner that look, here are the benefits for you, but then equally they now have to pass that over to a trusted solution provider. Mm-hmm. And we're finding various degrees of standard of that, as probably you would in everything, and that's probably that's what we're seeing out.
Yeah. No, for sure. Estelle, from a Digital River perspective, challenges ahead?
It's a good question, and I think a challenge brings opportunity. So for us, where we're coming up against challenges in our area would be where we're not offering local payment methods. So that then is an opportunity for us to look at how we can increase our payment methods in that market. But I definitely think that it's trying to stay ahead of the curve is a challenge. It's something that everybody's trying to do, and if you're not ahead of it, but at least be on the wave, that you're offering exactly what everyone else has, and if not, you have something better. So the challenge is keeping up to date, always doing research, always adding functionality to your core offering, and just being present and being future-proofing, I think. And it goes back to that demand of these online buyers that we have now, is that the expectation is that everything is to be seamless. And if they're not getting what they want out of the user experience, they're just going to abandon cart, and that's the end of a sale. So it's just keeping ahead of trends, offering what is expected, offering localized, personalized experiences. I think that's probably the biggest challenge, is to be as current as you can and as, I suppose, user-centric as possible.
100%. Bharat, what are our challenges?
Well, I was thinking about it, and especially when Ashley was telling his journey and a lot of unknowns that was found, and things that wasn't expected, and the data entry points around the ERP system. So I found it's really challenging, as a Monsoon, and talking to my clients and trying to set their expectation right at the very early stage of projects, to say what works, what doesn't work, what you need to watch out for, as much expectation you tell and define to your clients about the quality of their data, the current status of ERP, the IT dependencies, legacy systems, you want to tell them enough so they are prepared. But then at the same time, there is so much going, so many buzzwords going, so much innovation and great stuff going around AI, blockchain, payment innovations, data analytics. If you want to start telling a lot to your clients, they get overwhelmed, and they have to do their day-to-day business as well, and that we are supposed to be the IT person. So keeping that fine balance of telling customer what's relevant and important they need to know, versus at the same time trying to isolate them from too much of information and bore them out and literally overwhelm with too much of information. I found keeping that balance is the most challenging part, and I'm always struggling to keep that going.
Sure. I mean, from a Uniphar perspective, what would you say?
Challenges, I suppose, going from one version of SAP to S4HANA.
Yeah.
We want customers to be able to put thousands of products in a basket, not just 10, 20 or 50 or 100.
Yeah.
And can SAP handle that?
Mm-hmm.
And those type of challenges. So speed, performance, security, fundamentals.
Mm-hmm.
Other challenges, different type of customers. So non-med customers, can we give, say, health food stores, or can we give salons the ability to order
Yeah.
and do it fast checkout? So most of our ordering is PO based, but credit cards,
Yep.
different options, reorderability, personalization, visual merchandiser stuff, those type of challenges. But the big one, more products and more people using the web. We trade with a lot of hospitals, thousands of pharmacies, multiple orders, multiple order channels into our SAP system, into the mothership SAP. So we're at the mercy of SAP that it can handle more orders, do more stuff, and also we've got the independence to do personalization on the Adobe Commerce Cloud or Magento 2 site.
Yeah, no, 100%. Okay, I think sort of wrap up the kind of QA session here. Maybe just with some forward-looking, maybe in the next couple of years. What would you say, again, from your respective kind of viewpoints? Would you say are the kind of key technological innovations? The future, if you will, of B2B over the next few years. What should we be walking away here thinking that this is a real kind of important thing, or this is an innovation we're expecting? If you had to kind of future gaze and have a crystal ball, what do you think is coming down the wire, as it were? I'll maybe start, Ciaran, with yourself there.
I think B2B, and particularly on B2B, what we have seen through our clients that has adopted B2B e-commerce is that the order volume tends to increase and the basket tends to get smaller.
Right.
And that coupled personalization with, bringing a level of marketing, like bringing a technology like Klaviyo, which is very much B2C, but they're moving into the B2B space. You've looked at this in the basket, you left this behind, here's a special offer. All of those B2C, brilliant techniques for optimization, customer success, they're all going to be adopted on the B2B space. There's no doubt about that. Which brings this level of challenges in order when you increase the volume that actually has to go out the door, and so we see a race towards that. And this moment we talked about personalization, all things they're all themes that's been adopted from the B2C side. So I see that, and then I see AI. But I think AI is great. But actually, what I kind of see as well is that you can't necessarily beat the customer contact as well. There's a great talk last week that if everybody's good at AI, well then it all becomes vanilla, right?
Sure, yeah.
Whereas picking up the phone, talking to your customer, how are you, how are things, I'll visit you. Some of those things are still a lot better than AI. It's as simple as that. So adopting AI where it works and works well, but knowing that if everybody gets good at it, it's a competitive position and it's not there anymore.
Yeah, no, a happy mix, a blend of the human and the computer is definitely important going forward. Estelle, predictions?
Yeah, I think predictions.
Thoughts on the future?
I wish I had a crystal ball, but I think just to make the whole process for B2B as seamless as possible. So going back to payment offerings, so looking at buy now, pay later options, looking at subscription offerings for B2B customers, on top of having credit card cash offerings, or whatever solution, wire transfer, or bank to bank, whatever you're offering. But it's really just trying to make it an easy solution. I'm all about how simple it is, and I know I revert to this all the time because when I'm shopping online, I just want a really simple process, a quick checkout. I want to know that what I'm paying for a product is what I'm paying for, there's no additional costs, etc., and that it's going to arrive when it says it does. So I just think that it's making the process for B2B as easy as it is today for B2C. So I think that's something that we all work on. I think AI is a great point, Ciaran, because I think that it can go too far.
Yeah.
And I even look internally, we're using it for marketing outreach and lead generation, etc. But you get an email every day, I get delete because you're getting so many emails generated from a company through AI trying to sell you something. You're not even going to open them because they say Dear Di Lucia, and I'm like, they don't even know my name. So it's things like that. So it's, being a friend of AI, not trying to, use it for everything, but just to kind of use it to add value to your solution, your product. I think that's what's important in the future.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Brad?
Yeah, I think just on the same theme, what I feel is people need to just stop thinking about, I need to do something on blockchain or I need to do something on AI. I think people need to look at their business first, the pain point first, the solution they're looking for, and then see what technology or solution that could fit in. I personally believe AI is going to change a lot of things. It's going to transform cost of doing business. It's going to improve visibility, and it's going to personalize your content. And in the world of B2B, cookie cutting standard website solution is not an equation. It's not even in the running. So you need to provide that very curated, very personalized solution that's based on users and demand. And I think AI is going to come in there on top of their predictive analysis and data sets, on top of generative AI, taking away the burden of cleaning the spelling mistakes and serving images for different devices. This is where that innovation is going to save a lot of time cost and bring huge amount of value. But we need to all look at from a business point of view and start from there instead of trying to adapt new technology because it's just there.
Focus on the business goals first, yeah, for sure. Simon, just lastly with yourself, any thoughts for future trends there?
Future trends. AI, you can talk about AI till cows come home. You go into VR, immersive sales experience, but it goes back to our customers, the demographic, the age, what they use. How can we make it as easy as them to order whatever platform we do, whether it's a portal, whether it's a catalogue, different ways to order. Like you can order in Uniphar, you can order from DOE, pins, fax, customer service order platform on the web, getting more people. It's 24/7, so you can go online, you can make an order, view your past orders, view your accounts, view your statements, make a return, make it as easy as possible to do all of them, but see it all. So, and all that info is coming from the mothership app, yet it's displayed in Magento.
Yeah.
So that type of thing. And having a platform that you can do it all, so you don't have to go to Hotjar, you don't have to go to Klaviyo, that you could do it all in the one platform. Inside analytics, where we get all that data, so all our different business units can see what's going on. So they have the facts and they can make informed, decent decisions on what they see and not, And we're also saying medicine, so we need to be careful around AI, what you pull in. So, but for the other non-meds, you can do a lot more around AI and that type of thing.
Yeah, I think, one of the key takeaways, for me and, in our experience in B2B, no matter what position a company's on the journey, it's not just a website, it's a business platform for the whole organisation that everyone's got a vested interest in, whether it be the finance team, the merchandisers, the buyers, the logistics, the warehouse, the international expansion team, if there's such a thing. Everyone's involved and has a vested interest in that platform, and and bringing that all together would be key. So yeah, I totally agree. Okay, that wraps up my questions. I'll open it to the floor actually for a few minutes. We have a wealth of experience covering all different angles of the kind of online spectrum, as it were. Any questions for our panel, please? The floor is, quite literally, the floor is yours. Any questions for?
So the things you were saying there, Simon, about SAP, so we're intrinsically linked with SAP as well, and I think what really lands with me from this conversation and just in general is the requirement to invest in your IT systems and make sure that you're investing in them in a way that can scale for the future.
Yeah.
Because, like what you're saying, SAP EC6 has some limitations, and the more and more you're throwing at it, the slower and slower it will become at returning those prices. Yeah. And that's something we've got our eye on. We're very much aware of that, and we are planning to go to HANA as well.
Yeah.
So I was just like, just consolidating that as something that's really important for my business to do.
Yeah. And as for HANA, it's just more efficient database. You can do more. It's going to be faster, quicker. Yeah. ECC6, yeah. Again, we're at the mercy of that, but yeah, as for HANA, and it's a big move. So it's not a push button upgrade. It's a complete rebuild. And so you're looking at the business, getting an understanding of everything that's going on at the moment, and and rebuilding and making it more efficient, and maybe cutting out some of the old customization that maybe not need. Some you will, and big job.
What does a good project team look like to deliver HANAs from ECC6 in terms of internals and externals? Business analysis, project managers, and also using an external agency maybe to do these things for you?
Yeah, key. I think key. Like you can have loads of, I know we've Deloitte and Accenture, a number of teams coming in to build, but the core team that built that original system, which is class and has worked for the business, and that they have kind of leadership roles in the development of that. So having them on board from the start, that they know exactly everything that's going on and are involved, that type of thing, rather than just outsiders coming in, because making sure you use that wealth of experience that are there, that built a proven, robust sound system that works and has helped the business expand, that they're used, that they're utilised, and that they're involved.
And do you have an internal team of BAs and PMs who are going to help this project?
Yeah.
As well as using the Delights and obviously
Yeah.
Monsoon from the-
Yeah, we have a whole new project manager team. We have a whole new DevOps team.
Yeah.
We've a
you said,
yeah.
Mhm.
A guy called Hugh McDonald came from eShop World, wealth of experience, and he's brought his DevOps team. So there's a lot of work going around. DevOps, digital, Azure team, project managers, that type of thing.
And you're effectively using Magento, Adobe, as a headless interface for the customer to look at SAP effectively.
So it'll follow SAP logic. So the order essentially gets created in Magento but gets fired into SAP.
Yep.
SAP fires back the order ID.
Yep.
And so everything's in SAP, but because there's multiple channels, but then you can see your orders from other order channels in there as well. So you can see your PIMs, your facts that because some customers might even just take a picture of our catalog, call it in. So you can see it all there. Basically, 24/7 self-service dashboard, and it's all there.
Exciting. Any other questions for the panel? What over there? Yeah.
Does anyone think there's going to be a race to B2C for these? B2B is getting so close to a B2C equivalent that, and even take Ashley's talk about the sourdough market in the US. When does that all of a sudden go, actually, something, we can do all this ourselves now. Let's pivot, like digital did 8 years ago, let's pivot to the B2C space. Is it going to happen? Maybe?
It's happening.
Yeah.
It's happening
It's happening,
already,
yeah.
I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
In a lot of sectors, especially around electronic consumables, you will see the middleman is already being kind of overcast. Even in food and bev industry, you will see click and collect and the barbecue deliveries during the summertime. That's coming from wholesaler suppliers to the home directly. So those things have started happening. It really depends on the industry and the use case. For example, pharmacy and pharmaceutical, it's very hard obviously to go through that pattern with compliances. So it's industry to industry.
We were talking to a brand yesterday in France, and they're selling high-end automobiles, cars. So their whole process is online with Adobe Commerce, actually. And they have the entire, so you can configure your new Maserati, whatever it is you want to buy, the whole way through to the very end, and then they tie it back to a dealer for you to finish the experience at the dealership. But the whole transaction is online right up until that last point. So I think that's the experience people are looking for. They want to be able to do it themselves in the comfort of their own home, make the order at, what did you say, 3 o'clock in the morning or whatever it is. But when the time takes them to do that, they want to be able to have the access to do it. Everyone's busy. So you want the shopping experience to be as convenient for you as possible. So I think that all industries will move that way. It'll still be B2B, but it'll just be a B2C almost experience.
Yeah, we're seeing that the last two businesses that looked at Wave were core B2B distributor businesses, but they're now basically tacking on a B2C as well. So their biggest challenge obviously is the unit to measure, how the warehouse is set up for it. Instead of sitting at 3 pallets, they're now sitting at 3 parcels, right? And how to look at that. And again, a lot of industries, the traditional channel walls are starting to break down. They're starting to crumble. And so a lot of distributors are thinking, well, why not? We have the product, we have a margin to play with if we go direct to consumer. And sure, we may lose some of our trade customers, but, they're being picked off anyway. I think for certain industries, it's happening for sure.
Another very big example is the luxury goods retail fashion, like Zara. You'll see everything is online. You can buy it, get it delivered, and then you can go to the distribution retail shops and buy them. And that's very successful. So it's happening for a while now.
Sure. One more for Ciaran, guys. How much of a disruptor do you think ESG compliance is going to be in the future for companies, distributors like yourself, and generally getting the product from source to the customer?
So we don't distribute. We provide software to allow companies to power their own warehouses. But in saying that, it's huge. absolutely huge. We went into a business that we're spending like £850 a month on paper, right, alone. So while it's only a small thing, they can tick a ESG box. The reusable packaging, green packaging, etc., and all of this is all conversations that we're having on a daily basis, and how can that be facilitated? Yeah. So for sure, it's out there. Customers have become more aware of it, and we see some customers that really embrace it, absolutely embrace it. They won't use any plastic, whether it be sticky paper to close boxes, etc., right through to other customers. They know they have to do something, but they haven't really started yet because not necessarily sure where they're going with it. And to be frank, they've other priorities as well. So you get the whole gambit. Yeah.
In terms of the software that you design and offer to these customers, do you look at the kind of packaging responsibilities in different geographics? Because each country has different kind of ESG requirements. Does your software help the customer advise as to what the requirements are and make sure that they've got the right?
No, it doesn't. So we're very much about getting an order from inventory from the shelf to the packing station as cost efficiently as possible with 100% accuracy. How it is packed and the packaging and all the ESG requirements, that's very much left with customer and their operations.
Understood. Thanks.
Okay, anything else? Okay, well, I'll say thank you very much indeed to the panel. Thank you very much for your thoughts, your insights, some great things to take away there. And actually that will conclude our session this morning / afternoon. So I'd like to say a massive thank you very much to everyone for coming along. It's really appreciated. I hope you've got some takeaways and some insights there. Thanks very much to all our speakers. And of course, Ashley for that case study. Thank you very much to Digital River and all Adobe for helping make this happen. And of course, yourself, Ciaran, and Simon for joining the panel. Thank you very much again. We're going to be providing a little light lunch out there for a little bit of kind of conversation and network if you can hang around for a little bit longer. But I think that just remains for me to say thank you very much. And we'll be running a lot of these seminars going forward, and watch out for the next one. So thank you very much, everybody, and thank you to the panel again. Thank you very much.